Do you believe that the county, Rogers County, would benefit from a county budget board? I don't know if you know the definition of the budget board or what it consists of. You know, I mean, several other counties do. Well, 10 other counties have them in Oklahoma, and some of them are the biggest ones. Tulsa County has it, Oklahoma County, Payne County, etc. have them. And I wonder if you knew it would be a benefit to Rogers County, and if you know the pros and cons of a budget board, or if you can elaborate.
For the limited knowledge that I have on budget boards and what I've researched in them, which hasn't been a lot, but for the limited knowledge I had, which can change on, you know, the more knowledge I gain. Sound like a politician up here. No, but I do believe in it. I believe that the more minds that we can have working with that much money and deciding where it can go, you know, in the votes, because you know it only takes when you're talking about 3 individuals. I'm not.
Yes, you are.
That basically can decide, and if you have 2 that have a beef with an office, they can make it rough, whether it's you know on an office. And I'm not saying that that's going on or anything. I'm just saying that I think that each office should have an interest and a vote on the money that they spend.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, because some offices around the state, you know, are very free with their money, and some offices are very conservative with their money, and you know, with their budget. And yeah, you can vote them out, but a lot can happen in 4 years that can wreck a county. So you know, I guess my answer is, with the information that I have right now, I would support.
Well, I know that the only way a county budget board can come to fruition is if 2 of the 3 county commissioners vote for it.
Right.
And say yes. You know, I just wanted Dan to go on the record now. Would you?
Gee, thanks, man.
Or would you not vote for a budget board? I mean, do you think, you know, because
Let's get back to the question before we get to whether I'll vote for it or not. There are pros and cons to a budget board. I don't think anybody, if you've looked in much to a budget board, there are pros and there's cons. I've talked to commissioners around the state that some have passed a budget board and wish they wouldn't have. Some say they wish their county could go to a budget board. There's pros and cons. I have no problem working with the elected officials. I work openly with all of them at all times. I'm not going to go on record and say I'm for or against right now, because it's never come close enough to one that we really explored it and found out all of the good and the bad. And would I be open to it? Sure, I'm open to listening to the elected officials. I'm one of them. They got elected by the whole county. I got elected by 1/3 of the county. As Jerry Prather, the ex-sheriff, used to tell me all the time, I had to run the whole county. You just had to have 1/3 of it. So there is good and there's bad, and I'd like to, if it comes to it and it's pushed hard enough, yes, I would look at it and see what's best for the county. That's all we're here for, is the people of this county. It's not about 3 commissioners. It's about the people of this county.
Dan, with this board, then you would not be working as direct as you do now with the different
No, we would still,
heads.
the 3 commissioners would work just as much with everybody, but we wouldn't approve the final budget. The budget would be approved by the budget board, which right now we have what they call an excise board, and that's 3 individuals that sit on an excise board. By statute, the commissioners take a final budget. We have to balance a budget and take to the excise board. They either approve or don't disapprove. Some counties, their excise board looks at it and says, no, we're going to do some changing on this. But it's something that we go to the other elected officials and department heads with, and we have to be able to balance all of the money that we've got in that county to spend at that time. If we can come up with a balanced budget, we present it to the excise board for approval or disapproval.
which also the board consists of the 3 commissioners, the county assessor, the treasurer.
What order?
The budget board. If a budget board is established, you know, the sheriff office has it.
The 3 commissioners, the assessor, the treasurer, the sheriff, and the county clerk. Is the court clerk on? Would they be on the budget board?
It's all elected officials, the way I understand it. I'd love to talk about this anytime.
Well, we don't have.
Right.
We don't have.
Jump in.
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I think there's 7 counties in the state, and I'll probably be wrong on this, and that's the last number I'll
There's
quote.
10.
Uh-huh.
There's 10 now.
Okay, there's 10, and I don't know when those other 3 come on, but I've had several conversations with John Wetzel, the Oklahoma County Sheriff. They obviously have that in place there. I certainly see more good than bad out of it. And we look at the people we elect to manage a county budget or taxpayers' money, anything that's entrusted to us, and why would any of us not be willing to share that responsibility with all elected officials of the county? And I look at, and I'll be complimentary of, I always think, when people say, what's your county commissioner doing? I said, well, I must be doing a pretty good job because we got pretty good roads. And we do have good roads, and we're blessed in Rogers County. You know when you get into Craig County, you know when you get in the surrounding counties. And we ought to have good money. The money is there to provide those roads. And I think Danny's a very good steward of his resources down here. I look at the benefit of that voice being spread out across the county in those different offices, because I'll be the first guy to sit up here and scream as loud as I can that I don't have the resources that I need to do my job and provide what people need, response times, training, staff levels. We get somebody hurt, twist an ankle, maternity leave and everything, and we're upside down immediately. And I'm not saying a budget board would immediately give me everything that I needed, but I certainly don't see a downside to it, and I wish people paid more attention to it. I would be a strong supporter of a budget board.